First of all, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach us the truth and rule well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And peace, love, and salutation, blessing unto the hopeful elect, those who sincerely hasten the day that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, sends His Son, Yahweh Shai, to come and deliver the elect of Israel. In Israel today are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as those who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who may even look like the other nations, some of you, but your bloodline, your lineage, it goes back to the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, we're the brothers from Great Millstone, Miami again, and we're almost finished with Genesis, breaking down the book of Genesis. Last week, we did chapter 48, and we started out in 49 and breaking down the tribes. We broke down Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. And here we are. We're going to start again at verse 13, continuing on with the breakdown of the 12 tribes of Israel. So, there you go.
Genesis 49 and 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
Right. So we have a world map right here, and Zebulon today represents. Matter of fact, let me pull that one up too. Zebulon today. Are you from Guatemala to Panamania, to Panama? I think I got a better picture than that. But in this area right here, see in Central America, it's a haven for the ships. You know, Panama down here. Matter of fact, let me click on Central America. There you go, right there. So these nations right here, these countries, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama, you represent, or you are the tribe of Zebulon. Mm-hmm. And even in where it says, "and his border shall be unto Zidon," that's going back into the ancient days, where you see the ancient map of the 12 tribes. Zebulon and Zidon will come to occupy this area, basically what bordering the Mediterranean Sea. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can go. Can you look into the Panama Canal? Just look at that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the function of the canal.
Hey, the Panama Canal water rate in Panama, it said connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific Ocean and divides North and South America. The canal cuts across the Isthmus of Panama and is a conduit for maritime trade. So that's world trade, going through the Panama Canal. And I believe that's part of the reason why the Clintons had that whole Panama deception.
Yep. I was about to say that, yeah. Major business through there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it says one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken, the Panama Canal shortcut greatly reduces the time for ships to travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
For ships.
It's
a haven for ships. Now look at the word haven.
Haven right here in the Lashwan Kodash, that's what Khawap, seashore, coast, or shore. Mm-hmm. Yep. A cove, sheltered bay. Mm-hmm.
That's the Panama Canal.
Mm-hmm.
A harbor.
Yep. Oh shit, not that. But yep.
Can you look up the Panama motto?
Motto?
Like M-O-T-T-O.
Mm-hmm.
That was one when they broke it down for the benefit of the world. That Panama Canal changed trading. So now it go from the Pacific to the Atlantic.
Right. 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 That's big. That's heavy right there.
That's big business. A haven for ships. That's why it says. That's why it's written like that.
Mm-hmm.
A haven for ships. Come on.
That's prophecy being fulfilled, man.
That's right.
You know.
Which that, if you could go back to the Bible Kashad, the ancient map for
Israel,
please.
Trying to click on it, or is that it? All right. There
Now, how could Zebulon have been a haven for ships back then?
Right.
If it's landlocked.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show you it's a future prophecy talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
They said last days.
In the last day, exactly.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We got the truth, bro. We got the 100% truth.
This is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's here.
It makes so much sense. This makes so much sense.
There we go. Hey.
Verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant.
Right, Issachar. It doesn't even say it right here, but Issachar, you so-called Mexicans. You know, and it's what it says, a strong ass. Let's see what I got pulled up here. I typed in Mexico and donkey, right?
Yep.
Didn't have to type much. First page. Donkeys are long associated with Mexico, but they are not native to the country. They were actually bought here by Spanish colonists. Yanez. Donkeys are still an important symbol of Mexico's agricultural past, representing strength, hard work, and yes, a lack of intelligence. You know, but that's what it's a
strong ass.
Right.
Couching down between hard work, two burdens.
Two burdens, man.
Play, bro.
And look,
bro.
What they be beating at the parties, man? The pinata.
Yeah.
With a donkey. Come on, man.
And they got the coat of many colors, like Joseph.
Yep.
You know, which if you notice, like the dress of Northern tribes, their traditional dress is always colorful.
Yep. And they wear garments.
Yeah, and they wear con.
And what our ass is used for? Word.
Yep.
It's a burden.
You know?
It's a beast of burden, con.
Right. You know?
Yep.
Stubborn.
Right, and that's so-called Mexicans, man.
Yeah.
And look, me and Kira, we laugh about it all the time. We stop by the gas station. It could be what 3 or 4 o'clock when they shift is over. They come in there with all they matching work shirts on. You know, they grab their beers and they in heaven.
Yep. That's it.
Everybody grab a 12-pack.
Happy as
they just want to work, and they got their beers, and they would do that for thousands of years.
Yeah, that's happy to be here. Like we see them cats, that group walk by the camp every week.
Yeah.
You just look at each other and be like, that's all they want to do. They want to go work on the construction site and go drink beers and party for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Right. And
if you could look up the term El Burro. LELBURRO. And meaning. Go to the word. And you could go to images, or you could even go to the word.
Yep.
What does burro mean?
in Spanish slang, donkey. Yep.
You know, and then go to images to see what comes up. It's gonna be the same.
Yep.
Same thing.
It's not hard. It's not hard to find. It's not hard to get, man. Mm-hmm. This is the truth. You so-called Mexicans, y'all are the tribe of Issachar. You know, just straight up.
They a lot of them short, stocky, like the way a donkey shape.
Yep. Strong as fuck though. They put up buildings quick fast.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw one like probably like 5'4", 5'5", walking up a whole sheet of plywood on his shoulder, on the ladder with one hand, walking that bitch up. In that 3/4 inch plywood, it takes 2 men to carry. He carrying that bitch on his shoulder by himself.
He's been doing that shit since he was 6.
Yep, there you go. That's it.
Y'all remember little what was his name? Mysterio?
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio.
Man.
That nigga was about 5'3".
Yeah.
Beating everybody.
You know, beat a big show.
Right.
6'9".
Hey, but it says couching down between two burdens, and even geographically, between North America, South America, and actually Mexico is bordered by two mountain systems. Sierra Madre Occidental, and I believe Occidental goes into the word for west, and Sierra Madre Oriental on the eastern part. Oriental means east. So even geographically, this is what's going to happen to Issachar in the latter days. Got two mountain systems, but also North America and South America, man. You know.
And just speaking as a man, to me, my personal spiritual assertion, so-called Mexicans, Issachar, to me they kind of like got the lowliest of the tribes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, me personally, I would say Levi would probably be the most proud, and Issachar they like lowly,
real lowly,
like,
yeah.
They chill. You know, they wicked as hell, a lot of them, but they kind of humble in a sense compared to the other tribes. They still proud.
I would say between them and Zebulon. I work
Right.
with Zebulon. Zebulon would
They
take
go
two or the most. Out of all northern tribes, they're the most despised. They most
right.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
And
to say,
like you said, all they want is their beer.
Yeah.
They'll work.
Right.
They'll work real hard for you for pennies.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna go into it in the next verse.
Yeah.
You know.
Which the donkey is, of course, you know, it's a stubborn animal, but it also could represent, you know, humility too.
Mm-hmm.
Because then Yahushua, when he, just like Solomon came in to Jerusalem, he rode in on a donkey or an ass, and you know, showing he came lowly. But, read it again, Genesis 49:14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens, which nobody worked hard as Mexico.
Nobody. Nobody on the planet.
All right. Verse 5.
It's like they're everywhere too. They're everywhere, all over, up north, northwest. Brothers out there in northwest say, man, there's so many goddamn Mexicans out here. It's crazy.
That's the Northern Kingdom that you see in Tennessee. When I was up there, that's the Northern Kingdom that's up there. Issachar.
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Straight
Yep.
Issachar. Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
All right. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear. Like you said, you seen that he put that stack of wood on his shoulder. That's I think I seen the video too. I think it was like Edomite or something trying to do it. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He took that shit, brother. Give me this shit.
I'm sure I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real talk.
He bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant unto tribute.
Right. And a servant to who? Really, United States.
Right.
Let me see. Do I have it pulled up right here?
When you got a chance, can you show it in the NLT version?
Mm-hmm. Genesis 49 and I'll read it from 14 again. Issachar is a sturdy donkey, resting between two saddle packs. When he sees how good the countryside is and how pleasant the land, he will bend his shoulder to the load and submit himself to hard labor.
Wow.
Holy mackerel is good.
Yep. And remember Issachar used to have land up
here.
Yeah,
you know,
all the way up until like
up the west.
Yeah.
Does it say it right here? It doesn't say it right here, but basically, yeah, there we go right here.
Yeah.
And also, I was watching this. Here we go. I was watching this little documentary. If you search this word called Chinampa, Chinampa.
NAP.
Yeah. NAMPA.
NA.
Yeah, MPA.
Number.
Right. It's you can see, where it say, why did Aztecs use Chinampa? Basically, it was showing, like I said, and the land was good. Like how you say, it got them two mountain ranges. You go back to the map, Baba Kashaw, you showed the mountain ranges. You see how it's real green in the middle? Because the rain, you know, I go down on the mountain, and basically it would carry all the nutrients down from the top of
Mhm.
from the top of the mountains and fall in between in the valley, would make the land very fertile.
Mm.
Because it's collecting all the nutrients.
So like I was gonna say, that's what I was thinking of when this is the land was pleasant. Mexico is actually a good land.
Right.
That's why a lot of plants and shit and fruit, not fruits, vegetation is out there. You got agaves out there and stuff like that, and just different things out there. So the land is actually a good land. I just want to make that point.
Right. But I was watching the documentary on the Chinampa. That's like a growing technique that the Aztecs used, basically in that fertile land, and it made me think about that way. Like the brother said, that the land, it was good.
And I thought I had it pulled up as well, but basically, America is the biggest importer of Mexican goods. And almost a whole bunch, most of their imports come from Mexico. Made in Mexico, this, and especially vegetables and goods like that.
That's why that crossing between Mexico and America in California and shit like that, bro. Every freaking day is busy, bro. It's stacked. These things are going in, empty trucks going into Mexico, coming back full as fuck.
Right. And a lot of the jobs are in Mexico. That should have been in America, but a lot of them now are in Mexico. Like Ford, it's Issachar that builds a lot of the Ford vehicles now. It ain't Americans. So, cheaper labor, right? Again, it's gotta be here. Build these vehicles for cheap. Yeah,
no problem.
A lot of the corporate businesses, they're manufacturing. Are in Mexico.
I put that say United States imports from Mexico was $388.36 billion in 2021.
Wow.
You said 2021?
Yeah.
Yep. 348.7 billion.
Wow.
Top commodity sectors were machinery and mechanical appliances, transportation equipment, and agricultural goods. Mexico, in 2021, Mexico is the number one trading partner in terms of trading value, followed by Canada and China. Wow, so like what did we just read here? And bowed his shoulder to bear it, became a servant unto tribute, man. And they ain't making shit for trading with the US.
That's why the plant there now.
Wow. And not to mention the cartel, the drug trade. Which America places those things or keep those things in place, help to build them up. CIA.
I had a precept too. We can't forget this one. 1 Chronicles 12:32.
That's fair. You can break that out. You good, bro.
And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Okay? But it said they were men that had understanding of the times. Okay? And I believe it's, I don't know if it says anything anywhere else, but it said they had understanding of the times, which we know Issachar being the Mexicans, before they were called Mexico, they were known as the Aztec Empire, and also the Mayans.
The Mayan calendar.
Yep.
Which even Esau tell you that the Aztec and Mayan calendars were some of the, if not the most advanced calendars in the ancient world.
Right. They built the pyramids over there. Between Aztec and Mayans, between over there in the lands of Zebulon is at. And if you read the history, the Aztecs used to mingle with one another in the Mayans. So Esau, what it said when we read up the donkey, it said lack of intelligence. And these are the people of the Most High. He's just cursed. You know?
Even Esau tell you when them conquistadors and them came over, the Aztecs, the Mayans, even going down with the other tribes, the Incas, they had the most advanced civilizations in the world at that time. Right. They were on a very high level. We know they was going off and being wicked, but in terms of civilization and architecture and all that, it was super intelligent.
Right, they had roads, systems, irrigation. Right.
Me and the brother Samak went over there, like them big ass blocks, bro, with no cranes, moving that shit with no cranes, bro.
Which it's funny you say that because you mentioned the pyramids and when you watch like the History Channel, we talk about ancient aliens. We talk about the pyramids in Mexico. How they so on point with the degrees. It reminds them of the pyramids in Egypt.
But they said they're more advanced than the pyramids.
Yeah. Me and Karab went and saw that, man. Like up close in person.
And you saw the one where you stood on it and you could look and it was like, oh, it's diametrically in line with. And you went to the top and you saw the peak of the next one. Like, that was ingenious, right. Man.
This wasn't done by some,
little green
little small jungle people. You know,
no, these people were intellectual.
Yeah,
they were
the fuck.
Yep. And the fact that there are so many pyramids and structures built like this over here in this hemisphere, that goes to show you that these people are from the east.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's why Glenn Beck, he had to bring it out in that Fox report about the pyramids over here. Okay, like Bishop Shamar was saying, how they match the pyramids in Egypt. All right, in terms of the circumference and all that, because they're the Israelites. They were building pyramids in Pharaoh. They knew how to build a pyramid over here. They didn't forget that knowledge.
Right.
And the architecture, the main what you see, that was, just the tip of the iceberg. They had intricate alleyways, and underground shit, and little like sepulchers and all type of shit in there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, hey, granted, this ziggurat shit going off too. The scriptures tell you're not supposed to build an altar with steps upon it.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just shows you that the Israelites, they were probably worshiping different idols and stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
It's jacked up.
Exactly.
A good movie to watch is Apocalypto. Because they get all into that timepiece, man.
Right.
And that's why the Lord sent Esau to jack up our people, because they were into human sacrifice, pulling out the heart, chopping people's heads off, throwing the body down the steps.
Yep, Apocalypto,
bro.
And
you did. Oh,
let me get a scripture for that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Apocalypto, what do we see? We see Esau coming, with them ships.
Yep.
I put Genesis 28, Deuteronomy 28.
Cross, right. And at the end, bringing that plantation Christianity garbage. Yeah.
And they showed you in the movie, right before Esau came, they had an eclipse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when like how in the Mayan calendar and all that, they knew their world was gonna come to an end. They was reading the signs of the times and stuff. It just how like Christopher Columbus, he knew, because he was studying the signs and he read the book of Ezra and whatnot. So they both knew that. That's why the movie is called Apocalypto, right?
Yep.
And they had the Hebrew translator, Luis de Torres. So he was putting Christopher Columbus on game.
Right. So you see what we have pulled up here. This is the end of the movie Apocalypto, which is that's an epic movie. Who did that? Mel Gibson?
Mel Gibson, yeah.
Yep. So you see this, what I'm about to read being fulfilled, Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth. As swift as the eagle flieth.
Mm-hmm. That's the sign right there.
Yep.
Right. The eagle is the emblem of all of those Edomite so-called white people nations, man. Spain, Rome, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
English,
Spanish. Right.
Portuguese.
Right.
French.
Right.
Yes.
Now you could imagine in the East,
right.
Jake was over there for the longest. You had the Israelite language, Assyrian language. You probably had translators and all of this and that.
No, it tells you that in Isaiah. when the Assyrians were sieging Jerusalem, they had translators
Mhm.
talk between the ambassadors. Now,
Right.
granted, a lot of the stuff in Deuteronomy 28, deals with 70 AD and different sieges that our people had to suffer over there in the east. But how you know that this is, this was fulfilled over here was the fact that back then, we were a bilingual people.
Right.
You had Israelites that understood Latin and Greek and the Syrian language and the languages of the surrounding people. It tells you that in Acts chapter 2. Okay, so this had to be fulfilled in this time where we had Northern Tribe that was over here, speaking whatever forms of Hebrew they had, and then you got Esau coming with Spanish and Portuguese and all these different languages that they don't understand.
Right. Verse 50, it says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young."
Yes, and that's Esau. Edomites look creepy, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them coming with these.
Thin ships.
Look at him. He coming for war. Look, fierce countenance. He got the helmet on. They coming for war. He got the sword.
They are.
The conquistadors.
Yep.
Come on, man.
And murder on their mind.
They didn't regard the young. They gave them smallpox in their blankets, man. And this is what they did. We're on Issachar right now, but this is what they did to the Northern Kingdom point blank, man. From the conquistadors to the German Inquisition to the, all the Edomites that came over here, the different parts, and oppressed you so-called Latin tribes and Native Americans. But verse 51, it says, "He shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee."
And that's Esau. He's slaughtering all different types of animals, destroying cities,
Yep.
Pillaging villages. That's Edomites, man. That's what they do.
Yep.
You can't tell me that this didn't happen during the conquistadors coming over here, the Portuguese coming over here, the British, the French. That's exactly what went down.
Right. See, we got the breakdown, we got the truth, and it's right here in your face. If you don't want to get it at this point, you anti the Bible.
and to you JJs, when did this happen to you?
That's a good question.
Who did it to you?
Who did it to
Right.
you? Yeah. Name
Right.
a time and a place that prophecy was fulfilled, man.
Thy corn, thy wine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yours.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. So you had your own shit, and then people came and took it away from you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't understand their language.
You didn't understand their language, so you can't talk about the
Germans.
No,
No.
y'all understood them.
You are them.
You
are them.
So,
Right.
Wow. And what's so mind blowing about the divinity of this man is that the Lord was telling the nation of Israel this as a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he already knew. I made this motherfucker cricket. And if you don't do what I tell you to do, he coming. He not going to regard young, old. He going to stick foot up your ass. You know what I'm saying? And this was given as a warning. But the Lord knew that it was going to happen.
Right. It had to happen.
Right.
It had to be for prophecy to be fulfilled.
Right.
Well.
I wouldn't bring out something on that. Genesis 49.
Mm-hmm.
When it says his rest was good,
Mm-hmm.
they used to have a thing called in Mexico. It's called siesta.
Siesta.
They was going into that siesta. Basically, it was like but they almost they took that law off.
Look at that.
There you
Look
go.
what comes up.
Lane. There it is.
Right.
Yes.
You just see what it means.
Mm-hmm. An afternoon rest or nap, especially one taken during the hottest hours of the day in a hot climate.
So they had like a time period that they would just lay down and just rest for like a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where are they located at? On the equator.
Yeah,
It's hot there.
I'm saying though.
They still do that next time.
They're all about to say that.
When it's 12 o'clock, the boys snack, you just see all the boys.
Bro, they be in the hot sun. They put
They
helmet on
their
their head over their head.
Or they find a tree, bro. They just sit on the tree and they go sleep.
That's our people.
Man, come on now.
Because they work hard. But the scriptures say about, hard working men.
Sweet.
Mm-mm-mm.
And the day that I saw that dude walk that piece of plywood up that ladder by itself, guess what they had for lunch? Beer. Under a tree. She said.
Boy, they love beer. They worship beer. Boy, I tell you.
Right. Genesis 49 and 16. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward.
Right. And Dan shall judge his people. Was Samson was of the tribe of Dan.
Right.
And he judged Israel. Right, in the book of Judges. You know?
And the word Dan means judge.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Dan is not in the prophecy where it's he's not, his name isn't written in the book of Revelation chapter 7. Yet, hey, what verse 18 says? I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. So, hey,
We'll see.
we'll figure it. Yeah. We know in part, we prophesy in part. So we can't tell you Dan is this people or that people today, but he's a serpent by the way, an adder in the path. You know, we could speculate, but hey, you know, we know Samson's gonna be around.
Yep.
Yeah, he gonna come back.
Right.
If you were born in Israel, you're gonna come back.
Right. Samson ain't done away with. So even though he's not in Revelation chapter 7, you know, we gonna see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The furthest I've heard the elders speculate about it is to say that you know from their spiritual speculation that he pretty much got absorbed
Right.
into all the rest of the 12.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I heard too.
So we can have that vibration of 12.
Right.
Right. Because Levi is being counted as a tribe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't forget with Joseph having a double portion for his sons,
Right.
Manasseh and Ephraim.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Yep.
Right.
Native Americans.
Oh man.
Who was that nigga? Custard.
General.
Was it General Custard that went against the natives?
Type in general.
I think so. And you had
Custard.
what's his name, Geronimo.
Yeah,
Doc.
Geronimo.
Yeah.
George Custer. Yeah, Custer. I put Custard. It's like it.
And it
Yeah.
also shows that we're still living out these Bible prophecies. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, that was in the Bible days." No. Gad hasn't overcome yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So it says George Armstrong Custer was a United States Army officer and cavalry commander in the American Civil War and the American Indian Wars. You know, so yeah, this is one of the main devils that came up against, you know, our people, Gad and Reuben. You got Andrew Jackson.
Yep.
You know.
They call it the Indian killer.
Hey, and let's put the prophecy together. Gad is a troop. What does the word Gad mean?
Troop.
And the troop shall overcome him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, remember the tribe of Gad in the scriptures, they were a warrior people.
Mm-hmm.
They made up a lot of the mighty men. Okay, and you know, they were overcome by Esau coming over here with the sword and with his troop, and he overcame them.
Right.
You know? But at the last, Gad is going to overcome them.
That's right. It's a thing on TikTok where it's this Edomite saying he got this book or whatever, and you reading about how so-called white man did with the Native Americans. He like, wow, like this Edomite is saying that the so-called white man is what they did was the worst ever done in mankind.
Yeah.
It's things that we don't even, because they actually had to come over here and for them to take a whole land.
Yeah, they slaughtered these people.
Slaughtered hundreds of millions.
You slaughtered them, you backstabbed them, you made treaties that you broke.
Everyone.
Every last one of them. You would come into a land that you promised them and just claim that it was bought up by whomever, and then you would come and slaughter these people. You gave them diseases, you tortured them, you stripped them of their culture, you destroyed their food supply.
Yep.
And then you stuffed them in reservations, man. Gave them the worst part of the land.
And damn near attempted to genocide them. Man.
Yeah.
Right.
You destroyed their cities, their languages, cultures, artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is a devil.
You even wear their traditional garments as Halloween costumes.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
They made jackets out of Indian skin.
Yeah.
You know,
Scalping.
Yep.
They hunted them for sport.
Yeah, straight up.
Because they would run so fast. So it's like, okay, see if we can outrun this bullet.
Right. Because that's what Esau, the so-called white man, has had. That's what he has, the sword.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
And just something in modern, Geronimo, what's his name? Geronimo's his heirs, his children are suing Yale because they have his bones.
Right.
They have his bones at Yale.
Skull
The skull and bones, yeah. They dug it up. Like legend has it, they dug it up. I got it right here. Legend has it that they 9 years after he died, the members of Yale Skull and Bone Society who were stationed at the Army base in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, absconded with his skull. The skull, they basically dug up his bones. Okay, brought it back to Yale University. Yeah, man.
Right, and this is on NPR.org.
NPR, yeah.
So
that's how wicked you Edomites are. You so-called white people in your secret societies, man.
Wow.
I believe they said they derive power from it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
He was killing their ass.
Right, because Geronimo was whooping their ass.
Right.
It makes sense, because remember when
Turner.
well, not even Salaki, brother. Joseph, he said, when we leave Egypt, take my bones with you.
Yeah.
Because these heathens, they do rituals with dead bodies and bones and stuff like that, divination. Looking into the bone crack and trying to summon spirits and chant. Like Ham. Ham be doing that sometimes. They'll kill an ox or an animal and then they'll wear its skin and put its soul on to try to channel.
Esau wicked. He do it for his fucking little college frat boy shit.
Right.
Go dig up a body or some shit. That's how deep they get into it. You know.
And then just out of pride, like, you killed a lot of my people, but look, I got your bones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You came over here, you slaughtered, you broke treaties. These people helped you survive over here the first winters that you was over here, and you straight up backstabbed them. And to the point where you even made the buffalo them to go extinct. This is on the Atlantic.com. Kill every buffalo you can. This is a quote. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone.
Yeah.
The American bison is the new U.S. national mammal. Wow. It's a national mammal now. But its slaughter was once seen as a way to starve Native Americans into submission.
Yep.
So that's how you got the land, you Edomites. All right, you didn't do it by the sweat of your brow. Okay?
Wow.
This how you got it.
And they proud.
Right. You stand on this shit, bro.
This is on Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
Mag.com.
Why do you think the Lord sends floods and tornadoes in your communities, Esau, Edom, to this very day? Right? You gotta pay for this shit.
And a lot of that floods and tornadoes and snowstorms happens in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Tri-state tornadoes.
Yeah. What do you call it? Tornado Alley.
Well,
Which is crazy, man.
This is 1 pound though. This is only 1 pound.
Right.
Yep.
Tornado Alley and Dixie Alley is actually getting bigger, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now,
and the storm's more severe.
That's why the storms are getting more severe because those alleys are becoming more bigger.
Yeah.
So now it's making way for bigger and stronger storms to come through and rip that shit.
And look, they posing. This was the telegram that was sent.
Wow.
Lowlands, the valleys, bro.
Wow.
Bro, we
That's
can't
crazy.
count that, bro. That's innumerable.
Yep.
Hey, another thing, another device this devil used around that time was the Gatling gun, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because Gad was so fast. Remember, them boys used to have the musket guns and shit. By the time they get in to reload, 100 of them will already be gone because Gad would come through, dip. That's where they got the guerrilla warfare from. Man.
Yeah, they got it from that.
That's what they did to overcome Gad and Reuben, because they wasn't gonna be able to do it without the sword. He came over here.
Cheat.
But they show you that. They show you that in the revenue. Remember, Reuben and Gad had them Edomites dropping their guns, running back to the ship, and all they had was bows and arrows and tomahawks. Them Edomites dropping their guns, running back to the ship.
Yep. They pull out a Gatling gun. One of them will make all the Native Americans retreat.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Right.
Just roll it.
You got something?
I got. I'm sorry. You have something, bro?
So I just want to say something because I know what you're gonna bring out. Just because talking about the bones, I know you on the ad when you was talking about the bones with Geronimo adding to. You know, the scriptures say that Michael had to fight Satan for Moses'
bones. Come on.
Because he was probably gonna do the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, Moses basically had power.
Right.
It's just like when that story in the Kings with the grave robbers and who bones was it? Elisha bones.
I think it was Alyssa's bones came out.
Right, and then the man died. He fell and died, but when his carcass touched Elisha's bones, he came back to life.
Yeah.
So it just show you the bones can have a power in them from certain people. Like if there was a person that they had like a heavy spirit,
right,
that power could still be in their bones.
Right, which in the case of Elisha, the reason why that happened because I believe the Lord told him that he was going to perform more and more work before after he died. Yeah. Right, God. So that's
raised the dead after.
Yeah.
After he died.
So, God. So they, Esau and these heathens, they take it as well. If this person was a great man, there's still power in their in their carcass and stuff like that.
Right. Well, LD Ashwamba brought it out was the Christian church. They now doing. They going to graves and laying down to try to get power out of
grave soaking.
Yeah, grave soaking.
Yeah.
Right. We're not to deal with that, man. Our power is in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But what you got, kind of not?
Jeremiah 8:1. At that time, said the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of his priests, and the bones of prophets, and the bones of their inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their graves. So going into, their, that's a curse unto us. The heathens playing with our bones and stuff.
Yep.
Right. Because that's a shame,
Yeah, real talk.
It's a shame.
Especially kings and priests.
That's a disgrace. You can't even rest in peace.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a disgrace.
That's a disgrace to you. You couldn't defend your forefathers. You couldn't dig up your bones. You couldn't, couldn't do nothing about it.
God. And verse 2. This is the reason why. Just reading verse 2.
Okay. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon and all the hosts of heaven whom they have loved and whom they have served and after whom they have walked and whom they have sought and whom they have worshipped. They shall not be gathered nor buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Dishonor.
Right? Because they dishonored our people went off. Our people started to worship the sun and worship the moon in the hosts of heaven, as the heathens did, So therefore this came upon us,
Yeah.
I was going to bring out John 10 and 10. Esau.
Yeah.
John 10 and 10 says, "A thief cometh not, but to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly." So that's Esau. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He's a thief.
Right.
I do want to expound on the point that you made about guerrilla warfare. Like you said, going into Esau did get a lot of his guerrilla warfare tactics from Gad. That's why sometimes they used to wear the paint and the fatigue. You even got Tomahawk missiles and Apache helicopters, right? So there's that. I wanted to bring that out as well. Camouflage. Yep, they got that from Gad. Now, if you could look up real quick, broken treaties with the Native Americans.
They're gonna take this video.
Nah, this shit's fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
It's sad as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn.
Which one is it?
You can click this real quick. Let me see.
How many?
There you go. More than 500.
From 1778 to 1871. More than 500 treaties. These niggas some bitches, bro.
It says all of these treaties, this on Wikipedia too. All of these treaties, I'll read it from the top, from 1778 to 1871, the United States government entered into more than 500 treaties with the Native American tribes. All of these treaties have since been violated in some way or outright broken by the U.S. government, with Native Americans and First Nations people still fighting for their treaty rights. You know?
But yet these niggas want you to trust the U.S. government. Right. Fuck.
That's fucked up.
That's very fucked up, bro.
I mean, when we all went to the powwow at the Hard Rock and they had the little thing set up with all the information that we could read, it's breaking it down just for Reuben down here.
Yep.
You know, with the wars that they had down here and all the treaties broken. So you just a devil. You signed the treaty for your advantage for them to get off your ass, but then you go ahead and break it because war is still in your heart.
Yeah.
Yep. Matter of fact, I got that precept. You had bring it out.
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
But I just wanted to say too that remind me of how Esau made a covenant with Jacob about how if you give me the bowl of lentils, I'll give you my birthright. But then at the end, he tried to snatch it back before Jacob could get it.
Yeah.
And then he cried and lied and said that Jacob stole it.
Right.
Let's Esau eat him.
He's a brat, bro. Go ahead.
Yep.
Down.
Keep going.
20.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Psalm 55 and 20. He has put forth his hands, and this is going into the wicked. And Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness pursuant to the book of Malachi chapter 1. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. They even taught us in elementary school, the pilgrims and made us make the little turkeys with the paper and you know what I'm saying? Trace your hand and all that. Some dress up as Indians and gobble.
Right. Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Right. When they came over here with the Nina Pinta, the Santa Maria, and the Mayflower, you know what I'm saying? When they came over here, they were entreated well. You know? Because Gad probably could just slaughter their ass right then and there.
Right.
Not probably, they could have.
Right. I mean, all of their encounters with Jake has been peaceable. He always starting some shit, man.
Right.
You know? Always starting some shit.
Hey, but Jake, just to,
trusting the enemy.
There you go. The Lord told us never to trust our enemy. And they did it. And then ultimately, that's what Gad and Reuben came over here for, to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down. But nonetheless, Esau, Edom is the wicked the Bible speaks of.
Yeah, because they for the affliction.
The affliction.
You didn't have to do all that.
No.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that shit.
You ain't see that mask?
Yep.
Look, and they had the thing on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all seen it. It was going through social media. It was a torture for this.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Like Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, they would have like 2 of them.
So they have put a mask on your face and then like they twist the eye part.
Torture. Sirach 26 and 28. When you done with this?
All right.
Sirach 26 and 28. When you done with this?
All right, so let's finish this one. Psalm 55 and 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant, all them treaties. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Right.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And Esau has that trait about him. You know how to make his words soft and buttery, butter you up.
Hey, why? Because what is he considered? Going into Genesis, when they introduce him, he's a cunning hunter.
Right.
He came over here to hunt. He didn't came over here to make friends. He knew who was over here.
Right.
And he came, and that's one of his tactics. Hey. Though he come crouching.
Right.
Like the scriptures say.
Right. He got to talk game. That's about all that he got from Abraham and Isaac. Everything else.
But yeah, this slick mouth, witchcraft, slick mouth, and sword.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Because
you look at him, how he looks is ugly. he looks like an anomaly. He looks like a defect.
Right.
He
ain't got no salt.
He ain't got no salt.
He just got a little mouth game in order to use for wickedness and treachery.
He's physically weaker. So if it wasn't for that, he would have been got wiped out.
Serpent tongue.
Yep. Sirach 26 and 28, it says, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares such and one for the sword, man. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out, man, because, brothers, we've been going over the history of the Native Americans and how they were overtaken and put into this very lowly and poor state. And that's grief to the heart. It's like every time brothers break down Genesis 49, we get the Gad. It's sad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? We talk about how fucked up it is, man. Mm-hmm. And you see a lot of Gadites, they suffer depression. Drinking a lot. They get slandered and mocked. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to bring that out real quick because this scripture always come up in my mind when we go into Genesis 49.
Well, I wanted to say this because just the other day I was looking something up because you mentioned how they suffer from depression. Gad and Reuben, a lot of them, I forget what article I stumbled upon. It was like a lot of them become millionaires, instant millionaires by the time they're 18 because the government set up funds, to give them their little percentage. So by the time they're 18, they've been going through poverty, seeing all this bullshit. They get that instant million, they drink themselves to death. Man.
Right, or they commit suicide.
Yeah.
There's a high suicide rate.
So Esau got to pay for all that shit, man.
He's still fucking with them.
Yeah.
With the pipelines they trying to make. And
I got something on that pipeline.
They still are suffering on the reservations. They're still suffering on the reservations. They don't even got running water, man. You check. They're the ones. When you look at those that don't even have running water, it's Gad and Reuben. They have literally lack of water, man.
To get certain benefits, you have to be on the reservation.
Right.
If you're not, you forfeit your benefits.
And then that's if you're actually recognized as a federally recognized native. There's a lot of Gad and Reuben that don't even know. They think that they blending in with Judah or Issachar, or back, so they don't know.
Standing Rock, South, how you say it? South and Dakota Access Pipeline. The first one?
Standing Rock Soup and Dakota Access Pipeline.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, ask people about it. Go up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The first bulletin go down. What?
Yeah.
All right. What treaty did the Dakota Access Pipeline violate?
To this very day.
The position of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe is that the Dakota Access Pipeline violates Article 2 of the Fort Laramie Treaty, which guarantees the undisturbed use and occupation of reservation lands surrounding the proposed location of the pipeline. Same story.
To this very day.
Just a different day.
Yep.
Edomites can't leave people alone, bro.
Esau need his shit fucking smashed, man.
Go back
That's
to
why,
19.
the Lord be sending them tornadoes.
Damn, boy, this shit gets hot.
Yeah, but the Lord be fucking them up. He be sending them tornadoes. He be sending them floods. Okay?
They don't even know,
he be fucking them up, man. Them Edomites get fucked up out there in the Midwest and in the mid-north.
Hey, and that show I was telling you about Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, and it's basically what we going into. You got, of course, Kevin Costner, the Edomite, the cowboy. They got a huge ranch, and he still want to hold fast to that old cowboy Edomite way of life. But the world is modernizing, and it needs to be made loose because he really not making money doing what he do, like ranching and keeping cattle. He not making any money doing that. Yeah. So the state of I think it's Dakota, they trying to basically take his ranch, but he's standing firm. And what they wanted to do was build the airport and the casino, and Gad all for it. You know what I'm saying? But he became the governor and shut down the whole operation. You know what I'm saying? See, even in that show, they showing you, no, Edomites, always the culprit. And Gad looking like, okay, we in the worst parts here in Dakota. So, this airport and the casino, we'll make money off of this, and then we can get our people in a better situation. But Esau, nope, pulled the car, and they about to sue him. They're doing it because he broke a treaty.
Yeah. That's Esau's, man. At the end of the day, man, you know, it proves why the Lord is going to judge America, Babylon the Great, all right, for the oppression. You might as well get Jeremiah 50:33. You know.
Need to sit, keep it at home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And that's America, these so-called white man, home of the brave. He call himself brave for doing the most shystest, you know, lack of integrity, you know, full of atrocity deeds of all mankind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gave smallpox and blankets. This is not conspiracy. You can look it up. You gave smallpox and blankets to kids. So behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
But these niggas think that they gonna give him a jab that's gonna protect them, right?
Hey, we got the scripture for that. A lot of people saw this.
Right.
On these reservations, it's known that Esau be pumping radioactive material into the water that these people drink.
Yeah.
This is the devil, bro. But you want to trust his machination, man. This is fucked up, man.
He's gonna give you the best.
They scared of Esau.
Yeah.
That's what
And they father, they love when the Edomite. Oh, I like his songs.
And to be real with you,
Bitch, get your.
right? If Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with you, you should be afraid of Esau. Why? Because he's the witness stick of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He's just an extension of the Most High. That's what fuck you niggas up if you disobedient.
Well, let's say it this way: if you don't fear Yahweh Shai, you gonna fear Esau.
There you
Right.
go. There you go.
Right.
You gotta fear someone.
Right.
Well, let me get this. It says, "But the just shall live by his faith." Now that is the hopeful elect of Israel. The tribe is coming back right now, man. You know, the Lord is waking up his people. We're breaking down these scriptures right now through the Holy Spirit, and double honor to the apostles who broke these things down for us. You know, the 12 tribes are coming back, you know, and living by faith that the Lord promised us the kingdom. He promised us payback. He promised us, you know, justice. But verse 5, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man. By his different philosophies, by his deceit, you know, by his Christianity, you know. Damn, I forgot his name. Start with an S. That damn, saturate or they burned him. You know, they put you know their Jesus in front of him. Hatui. They burned him, but that's how they spread their wine. By their sword, by their force, you know, and got you to worship Cesare Borgia.
And it's really a Game of Thrones with them. In their mindset, that's how Edomites think. It's a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Even amongst themselves, they playing a Game of Thrones amongst the elites, playing a Game of Thrones amongst themselves.
They Joffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it says, neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell. And is as death.
Going back to that picture with the pile of bones.
Right. If you forgot, there it is right there. He's as death. Look at him. Look. He's. They posted up.
Red horse.
You know.
Right.
Right.
Ever since this man got in power, man, he's been dead.
That up.
That's why the land is dying. Okay. Animals extinct.
Hole in the ozone. How the
Okay.
fuck you put the hole in the firmament?
Right.
They got something called the Doctrine of Discovery.
Monroe Doctrine. Manifest Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Manifest destiny was you slaughtering millions and hundreds of millions of humans who was already on that land.
Right.
You know.
Keep going.
It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And he was able to do this after he established America as his, you know, hub of his rulership. You know, that's what America is. You can't see that. Go kill yourself at this point. America is Babylon the Great. Real shit. Go kill yourself because shit about to pop off now.
Right.
You know,
Do yourself a
goddamn.
favor.
Dig yourself
Right.
a grave. Laying there.
It ain't even that hard. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
How long?
Man, that's amazing.
It says how long?
How long?
So woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. There's a punctuation mark right there.
Yep.
And then the next question is how long, which means he's unlike anybody else, any other people in history that have always taken that which is not his, man.
Exclamation.
Explanation, like, you know what I'm saying?
Damn. Say, well, not a robber, you grapes.
Right.
But laid himself with thick clay, and you go into that word, it's ibatia, which means debt, man.
Yeah.
Pull up the debt clock. Let's look it up real quick.
And before you get there, the point I wanted to make with that, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. You look at a lot of the cities in America, a lot of the states, like we were going into Dakota. That's a Native American tribe.
Yep.
Those are Native American names, man. So that goes to show you that this land was not yours, man. Before you got here, you took it by violence. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and they take them away so that they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. That's in Micah, man.
This is known history.
Yes.
This is recent world history.
No,
You got it.
Now Colorado, it means the color red, like the Colorado River. That's why they call it the Colorado River, because it turns red at a certain point of the year.
Man, go into Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6, but go into the NIV version.
Esau, you gonna get it, boy.
Being exposed. 2 Thessalonians.
It says Habakkuk 2 and 6 in the NIV. Will not all of them taunt him with ridicule and scorn, saying, woe to him who piles up stolen goods and makes himself wealthy by extortion?
And y'all know what extortion is, right?
Extortion, just take it.
All right, by force or threat.
Yep.
You know?
You got something?
Yeah.
I'm taking yours, and you're gonna sell it for me.
Yeah.
Right. Threatening with his sword, with his, you know?
Right.
How long must this go on? You know?
That's you Edomites. How did you get America? That's it.
Just look at their history. This is what they do, man.
He did it on the Christianity too.
Yeah. Bro,
And they
that's it. No. What
going
you're
up.
saying is on point. You know, because it's like y'all did all this, and y'all claim y'all did this all on the plantation of Christianity, all through baby Jesus.
Yeah. The ship, the good ship.
Yeah.
31 trillion.
Right.
But they still trying to tax you.
Yep.
They still trying to, you know, summon you because of this or that. They still trying to, you know, make you pay this or that. All you know.
Right.
What?
This should show you that this system is through.
94,000 debt per citizen.
So you a little baby, bro.
Right. When you're born into debt.
Yeah, you born into that.
Yeah.
Yo, at my trip was the tax revenue going down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tax revenue going down.
Yeah. That means that. What does that mean? That means they're gonna have to bring in more force. That means they're gonna come with more draconian laws to rape the people.
That's why they're gonna do away with cash.
Cash, yeah. All right, because of that. You're seeing the declining empire, man. Like that's hey, this place has got to go, man. You can't. There's no rest here. This place is through.
You see it? It say 1960. It say 1960 U.S. federal debt. 1960 53.
Yeah.
1980 34. 2059. Now
121%.
Right. Meaning you're taking on more debt than what you can produce, man.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a game.
The shit is done with.
It's over with. How to jump from damn near 60%
Right.
to 121%?
GDP stands for gross domestic product. All right. That means America's not making enough. All right, to compensate the amount of debt they have collected.
Right. So what you see here is growing faster than what's going here.
That's crazy.
Debt is going up, man. Really, because the Lord the Lord wrote it that way because the Lord finna get these people. He finna get America at the end, man.
Right.
The Lord finna make America go down with a horrible judgment, with violence, we know, by the nuclear missiles. But even before then, he finna plague this place, man. The economy is going to drop. You know, it's going to fall. The Lord finna fuck this place up and down for what they have done to the people of the Lord and for their wickedness, man. You know, the triumphing of the wicked is but for a short time, you know?
If you can get Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33, Baba Kushan.
Together. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And that's representing the northern kingdom, if you know Bible language, and the southern kingdom were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
So they're still in their captives' hands.
Right.
So Amalek, answer that question. Where is Northern tribe, Amalek? Because they were put together, so that's another question.
Right.
Where they at, though?
Right.
Where they at?
And they're still being held fast. Right. Being extorted.
Right.
Okay. Continue reading.
Right. And this is end time prophecy. Because we know that the northern kingdom, as we explained in the last video, and you can read in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13, they went up in the time of King Hosea. They went into captivity to the Assyrians in the time of Sennacherib when he was ruling Assyria. And they never came back into the land of Israel. They came over here to the Americas.
It was King Shalmaneser.
Salmanasseh, the water.
Sennacherib was later.
The water, brother. Salmanasseh. And then the southern kingdom went into captivity through the Babylonians, came back, but ultimately started migrating out of Israel after 70 AD, man, into Africa, then to West Africa, then came over here by slave ships. And we are all oppressed over here in the Americas together. That's end time prophecy. Verse 34, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon.
And that proves that's a future prophecy. That never happened. And it's going to be done by the Lord. All right? So this is all going to happen now in our time, man. All right? We're the final generation. Okay? Go to 35. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon all her princes, and upon all her wise men.
That's right.
All right? All you politicians, all you think tanks. Okay? 36. A sword is upon the liars. Right? Oh, we got America. Okay, by the sweat of our brows, and you know, and you got to vote, and everyone's equal. Bullshit, man. You stole this land. You took everything from Gad, Reuben, all the tribes. You know, all the tribes you took from. Okay, and parade yourself around that you're the most hardest worker ever, man. Most smart, intelligent. No, you're a thief, a liar. You're a scumbag. Continue. And they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men. Your military. That's why you're going into World War III. The Lord got it set up. And they shall be dismayed. Okay?
I just want to say this on the liars. As soon as they're born,
Right.
That's the so-called white man. Come on. You know? See, this is the theater of the Lord. And in the movie, you're going to have to identify the protagonist, which is the good guy. And we're telling you who the 12 tribes are and who they are today. You have to identify the antagonist, the bad guy, you know? And the antagonist, the evil person in the movie, the bad guy, is the so-called white man.
Right. Can you go back to Habakkuk? That's why it says his soul which is lifted up is not upright. That's right. Okay. And there's a couple verses we can get to. Verse 7 and 8.
Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, in the wake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Right. So all these people that you done spoiled, they won't turn on you.
That's right.
Suddenly. Okay, that's why scriptures say what all the men of thy confederacy, you know, shall bring thee even to the border. They that were at peace with thee have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. All right? So it's going to come back upon you. All the wickedness Esau has done is going to come back upon his own head. Verse 8.
Because thou hast spoiled many nations, All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee.
Yep.
Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
That's right. And that's Babylon the Great, man. You spoiled many nations. The remnant of the people is going to spoil you. Okay, why? Because of men's blood and the violence of the land. This place was established on blood and violence. Okay? And then you go to Jeremiah, it says, woe unto him that buildeth a town by blood and a city by iniquity, if I'm correct. Okay, or if you could scroll down, maybe see, it might be even in this chapter. Yeah, right. Habakkuk 2 and 12, it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity, man. That's Babylon the Great.
That's America. Come on now.
That's Esau, bro.
See, when you read this, you got to do the process of elimination. Right. Which nation of people fits this? Right. Is it the Moabites? The Elamite? No. Esau, Edom. That's his track record.
You dare say the white man don't fit it?
Right.
People are scared to say it.
Yeah, they're scared to say it.
Because they'd be like, you can ask them who run the world, they'd be like, they know who run the world.
It's crackers, man. It's Esau.
They'll be scared to say it.
Don't worry about it.
Yep, they scared. They scared and they love the white man.
They with it.
They wicked.
That was,
They love Americans.
It's only elect to say, who shall stand against the evildoers?
Yeah. Right. The 7,000 have not bowed down to the
They got his piece of chicken, his weed.
Could you go to Psalm 55 again and just get the rest of those verses real quick? And then we go to Issachar, I think it's next.
Psalm 55 and 20 again?
Yeah, you could go to 21.
21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yeah. Hey, you so caught into that team named Americans. We were always forgotten. This time we have the juice for you.
Yeah.
They sat down. They had the camera on the family couch on the set with him and his wife. It said blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Here, this is for you. Him and his wife sitting down on the fucking sofa.
Right. You guys should get it first.
Yeah.
With a hand on his thigh, like, you know what I'm saying?
Ugly ass.
Snakes.
Bro, if that's a her.
Right.
Bro, Bill Gates said on TED Talk about the
using healthcare to depopulate society. Yeah,
they gotta make more
better for the vaccines. Crown, the back. More jabs. More jabs to depopulate.
They still haven't edited it.
Right.
They're not going to.
Right.
Because Esau's the wicked. He like, what you gonna do?
Right.
He feel like he's in control. Like that's why he's allowing all this to be revealed. Because he's like, what you gonna do? What are you going to?
Right. And it's already they already fulfilled it. They already did it. What they were saying on TED Talk, it took place between 2020 and 2020.
Right. That's why y'all dropping like flies from heart conditions.
Because noise pollution.
And a clock. You see that one with the clock?
Because they move the clock an hour.
Move the clock forward, so that's why your heart gives out.
Psalm 55 and 22. It says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee.
Right. Again, that precept goes with all the broken treaties, man. Those are that's a bloody and deceitful act to make a treaty with somebody of peace, okay, and make desire of peace and then go back and slaughter them, man, and break those treaties and then continue to abuse these people nonstop for hundreds of years since you got here.
That's low.
That's fucked up, man.
That's low.
But it's all cool, bro, because like it just at 49:19, he shall overcome at the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, God wanted to punching the shit out of Esau because of what he did though.
Yep, he shall overcome at the last. I'm sorry, I gotta bring this out. Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord our power, because that Edom, the so-called white man, has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus says the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate, nuclear missile fire, from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, says the Lord Yahweh our power. They gonna know righteous recompense before it's all said and done.
Oh yeah.
They gonna know that
Justice.
that this divine power is putting the spirit upon these people to finally get payback, which they never thought that were really coming to them because they're proud. You know.
Maybe get a Psalm 94 verse 21. And can you read that in NLT too, please?
Psalm 94 and 21. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. Verse 20.
Yeah.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? And shoot, when they was writing the treaties, they knew they was going to break them. And even today with the different laws that they constantly oppressing our people, that they already know they got they fucking our people's face down in the dirt with their foot on our necks. They still writing laws.
I was gonna say majority of the laws they write now they put backdoor exits for themselves.
Right. They try to do the backdoor exit first and then come up with what they put in people's face.
Right. Hey, woe unto them that a decree on righteous decree and that right grievances which they have prescribed. That's Isaiah 10. And then woe unto them that put darkness for light, light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. You know. Then you also have never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Though he humble himself, go crouching. You know, take good heed of him, and thou shalt be as, you know, one that wipeth a looking glass, man. That's this devil, man. You know, he says one thing and means another, man.
Forked tongue.
Hey, let's read this in the NLT, Psalm 94 and 21.
20.
Oh, and 20. Can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice? This is Esau, the so-called white man.
They saying God we trust.
Right.
They gang up against the righteous and condemn the innocent to death.
Right.
Wow.
They know that men be on death row who are innocent. They ain't got evidence on them. You know?
Right.
The prosecutor be knowing it.
Yeah. The judge be knowing it.
Right.
They all be in on it, bro. It's a racket to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just it be a whole racket, and that's how you know this persecution. They gonna get dirty and nasty with it, bro.
Yep.
And shit ain't gonna be fair. You know what I'm saying? They gonna just take random people, and they gonna be saying bullshit about us, man.
Yep.
Okay, doing deep fake technology and shit. That's Esau. He always been like that, man.
Hey.
You know, he was saying the Native Americans, the people, the natives of this land, okay, which is the northern tribe. He was saying they were savages. You know, they were this and that, evil people. And it turns out they were some of the most sophisticated people on earth. Okay,
was kind to them.
Kind to them, and just to come over here and slaughter them, man, in the name of civilizing them and spreading Christianity. Right. Okay, they did the same thing with Southern Kingdom and West Africa. These people are savages and et cetera, et cetera. You know, they're always fighting and blew out the bam, and you just gonna go slaughter. The whole point was so you to slaughter them and bring them into captivity underneath you. That was the whole point of the different classifications of races by color. You know, making the world seem, you know, look at Jake as though we were the primitive people. You know, that we were on the bottom, that we didn't have a wherewithal about us, no righteousness about us, man. Lower than animals, man. Just to justify killing people, man. They ain't do nothing to you, man. That's how Esau moves. He always does that, man. All right? They did the same thing to Yahushua, man. You know? So they're going to do the same thing in these times to the men of the Lord now.
Let the angel of the Lord persecute them. You know?
And they've always had that remembrance going all the way back to, you know, the blessing.
Yeah.
The birthright. That's always ringing in their mind. And especially now
Yeah.
Now that the Most High done poured His Spirit out on His men,
Right.
and we out there boldly professing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're like, okay, first and foremost, how the fuck did these niggas find this out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well they know now. Okay, well we're gonna show them who's in charge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Let me keep going with
Yeah.
this. We got
Heavy persecution, Jacob's struggle.
Mm-hmm.
verse 22. But the Lord is my fortress, my God is the mighty rock where I hide. The Most High will turn the sins of evil people back on them. He will destroy them for their sins. The Lord our God will destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the times that we are in. That persecution is going to come. They're going to come up against us for exposing them. You know, but the angel of the Lord is going to persecute them. The Lord's going to lift up a standard, and like it says, you know, Shamar keeps saying it with an exclamation, you know, mark. But he shall overcome at the last. You know, this is prophecy that we got to look forward to. You know?
That precept, Sirach 10 and 8.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It says Sirach 10 and 8. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8 says, because of unrighteous dealings with those trees that he broke, that was unrighteous. Right? The way he did with our people. Injuries and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So we seeing the downfall of Esau and Edom's kingdom.
Right.
Right? We living in beautiful times right now.
Right. He ain't finna win with what he about to do. You know?
The nigga lost the day he was born.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In the womb.
Yeah.
He was in the womb. He lost.
Yeah, that's why he was so
Mhm.
bitter, bro. Because he get his ass beat in the womb, bro.
It's like a boxer who weak as hell finna get in the ring with Mike Tyson. You already lost
Right.
before you got in the ring. But now we right before Mike Tyson lay his ass out.
Right.
And the Lord's about to lay Esau Edom the fuck out right now, man.
And it's rigged. The shit is rigged. The scriptures say Babylon is fallen. It's fallen. Come the habitation of devils. You know, how does the golden city cease?
Mm-hmm.
It's done. It's already written. Like just like you say, you know Mike Tyson gonna knock this cracker head off.
Yup.
The Lord finna take you down, Esau.
Hey.
It's already written.
In this case, rigged is short for righteousness.
There you go.
You know?
I got one more, Esther 3 verse 5. Because, you know, Esau, he's carnal. You know, the Most High's not in his thoughts. And just wanted to set the point because, you know, Mordecai, he didn't bow down to Haman. And Haman wanted to slay him.
Ezra 3 and 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. You know?
We ain't bowing down to the beast, so they mad at us. Bro.
Not really exposing.
But one man named Bob Back, he wanted to destroy all Israel, bro.
Haman was another bitch.
All
Mhm.
Jews.
Bill Gallo to hang his family. Damn, that's hatred, bro. Sexual hatred.
Come.
That's great. I was watching a video about Apostle Elder Gabar. He did a lesson earlier, or premiered earlier, about how Esau has a God complex.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Haman was a perfect example of that. He wanted worship.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit of Esau. They think they're the Most High.
Right.
They demand that we worship them. Man.
Come.
More that remote.
Ezra 3 and 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone.
See, they always want to lay hands. Get carnal.
For they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
So you want to destroy all the Jews because Mordecai didn't bow to him.
You know that was bigger than that.
Us waking up to this truth, standing upon our feet, those of the brothers through the Holy Spirit got the true doctrine and got the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it's making them fear. So they actually going to come down with great wrath upon Israel as a whole. Like, okay, let's just wipe them out. Because what they do is that they panic like Herod.
Right.
Herod, what did Herod do? He killed all the boys that was 2 and under. He killed them all. He tried to wipe them all out. That's that's the mind that Esau Edom has. So he's going to come down upon Jake in the great and heavy way. You got a lot of Jakes that's down with Esau Edom. They love him.
Yep.
But
Charles Barkley.
right, shit. Your everyday Jake, every Jake you see
Loves Esau.
right. If they ain't in his truth. But he's still gonna come down and mow them down. Because he wants the birthright and he wants Israel out of the picture.
Right. And he's done pretty much with human labor. Because you see how the NWO turning out, like it's all gonna be computerized and robots and shit. Right. So it don't even matter. Like, you niggas built America, this, that, and the third, you the hardest workers. But I'm just sick of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, what we've been prophesying through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemal Shah. And he knows, like, this is scriptural and we got the right breakdown, and he's making preparations to fight against it.
Yeah.
And if I take out all you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, prophecy will fail.
That's what he thinks.
Right. That's his mindset, though. You know what I'm saying?
Idiot bug.
Esther 7 and 10. He tried to do the Jake. What happened in his eyes?
Right.
Ezra 7 and 10. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Mm-hmm. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Right. And hey, these Edomites, they want to come after us. They're gonna get a lot of Jake because them Jakes were wicked to begin with, and of course there'll be certain Israelites that be beheaded for this truth. But you Edomites are still going into World War III. You built them nukes. Those are your modern day gallows. Okay, self-destruction.
And the Lord's going to be pacified when His wrath come down upon America, Babylon the Great. You Edomites, the Lord's going to be sanctified in you by burning this shit the fuck up, man. This place that was built up by blood and deceit, atrocities, by broken treaties, and we're able to point these things out, over and over again. It is the history, the factual history of America, But back at Genesis 49, you got more tribes.
Yeah, we got more tribes, y'all.
Genesis 49 and 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties.
Right. Asher is who?
Brazilians.
Colombia.
Venezuela. Yeah, Uruguay, Paraguay. Ecuadorians, Venezuelans, what's the Bolivia?
Can you pull it up real quick?
Mm-hmm. Asher, what is it? Do I got the full thing on this one? Matter of fact, let's see if I can pull it up because for some reason I ain't pulling up right. Let me put GMS 12 tribes of Israel. There we go. This truth on Pinterest. Let me try to open up in a new window. Open image, a new tab.
Don't you have it open on it?
Yeah, I think that's the smaller version.
Yeah, it's a smaller version.
You may have to.
There you go, right there.
There we go. So 480.
Well, let's say Colombians to Uruguayans.
Yeah, it's too small.
That ain't it already open at the top? On the tab? To the left?
Right here?
Five in the tab?
Right there.
On the tab. Up tab.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. That's the map of the. That's the map.
If you go to tools real quickly. Up. Scroll up. And let me show you. Go to tools. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go to size.
There we go.
Go to a large. See if there's something I can pull up right there. There we go. That's gonna probably be your biggest one. Don't go to the Twitter one. Go to the Twitter one. The next one, right there. Click on that one.
There we go.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
Twitter.
Now, you even got it on Twitter now. Tweet. There you go.
There we go. Hey, you just taught me something. Press the size up. The water. It still ain't said. Where is that? There we go. Colombians to Uruguayans. There we go. So if we go to the map, do I still got the map pulled up?
World map?
Let me pull it up again. World map. A clickable map of world countries. I like this one. So boom. Yeah, there we go. Got Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela. You know, and you of course you got Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. You got different tribes mixed up in here as well. You got some Benjamin down there as well. A lot of that son.
You got Benjamin, Judah, and Levi down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark is
Guyanese. Yeah, a lot of the slave ships went down here too. So hey, you know, but for the most part, here it is right here for you. Brazil, all this land right here is Asher, and which is the Hebrew word Issachar, which means happy.
Right.
You know.
If I may bring out a scripture, Deuteronomy 33 and 24. You can actually just stay on that image.
Okay.
On that big image there. It says, and of Asher, this is a blessing Moses put on the tribe of Asher. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Now, the point I want to cover with that precept is the fact that Asher was blessed with children. All right, you see, because all of this is the tribe of Asher.
That's big.
That's big. You know, Brazilians, Venezuelans, Colombians, they have a lot of children.
Right, Ecuador. It don't show Ecuador in this image right here, but you got Ecuador, you know, as well. Ecuador.
I think that's like one of the most populated countries.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Brazil. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Look at it.
Other people over there.
You know, they got some good looking woman down there too, man.
Yeah, Colombia, Venezuela.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Happy to be here.
You got
You know what I'm saying?
the population of Brazil, 214.3 million.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And they don't even know the population because you got those that's in the Amazon basin. They saying it's millions, you know.
And those that poor don't really count them as
Right.
Right. The unbanked.
Right.
But eventually they're going to be banked with that digital off.
And of Asher, he said, Deuteronomy 33 and 24, and of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children, let him be acceptable to his brethren, let him dip his foot in oil. One of the biggest, you know, exporters of oil, producers of oil is these lands, point blank period. Venezuela, oil is all over here, man. You know? That's why they be having relationships with this nation, with Russia and all of that.
Look up, is South America a leading oil producer? And it gives a list. It says Latin American oil production is dominated by Brazil. Okay, which we already know Mexico is the tribe of Issachar, Argentina, Colombia, and Venezuela. Okay, those are the tribe of Asher right there. Okay, they're some of the top producers of oil, only behind like people like Saudi Arabia and
Right.
Eastern countries.
Right. In 2021, Brazil was by far the leading petroleum producing country in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Right.
With nearly 3.7 million barrels of,
You know, they got all this oil. They're supposed to be a wealthy country, but they're being oppressed.
Right.
All right. That goes to show you, man, that again, it's Esau Edom oppressing them.
And someone wanted to bring out too, Genesis 49 and 20. I'll read it again. It says, out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. And the NLT, it says, Asher will dine on the rich foods and produce food fit for kings. And I was doing some, looking on YouTube, come across some videos, and it was a Joe Rogan had somebody on the show, and it was going into how basically the Amazon rainforest was a garden.
Right.
They made that. Asher made the Amazon rainforest.
Wow.
Like they actually planted all those. Like they say, you actually go down there and look at the way the plants are. It's like it couldn't naturally just grow that way. They had to actually plant that.
Wow.
You had to cultivate that.
Wow. And check this out. It says royal dainties, right? And produce food fit for kings. We down here in South Florida. Go to a Peruvian or Brazilian restaurant. Big steaks.
Big sale, bro.
Texas Day Brazil. It's a buffet. They bringing out lamb, nice cuts of steak, big cuts of steak, pecan hot, filet mignon. These are Brazilian Peruvian restaurants.
He made a Peruvian dish last night. Some steak with French fries mixed up in it. That shit amazing.
You had a point, bro? You had something?
I mean, more of that 33 though. Unless you know where I'm going.
With the name Brazil.
Yeah.
Con.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. So look up. Is Brazil a major exporter?
Shit, I think I already had that motherfucker up.
And then I also want you to go back to Genesis 49. Nah, just look up.
Yeah, all right, con.
Just look it up.
We're gonna have to do a part 3.
Yeah, we might have to do a part 3. Boom. Brazil's top 3 most exported products in 2021 are iron ore, soybean and crude oil, and bituminous mineral oils.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are South America. Those Asherites down there from Uruguay to Ecuador to Uruguay. They're a major world exporter. Mm-hmm. Frozen bovine, sugar, soybean, iron.
Yep.
Okay, petroleum. All right, they are a major exporter. That goes into the fact that they have those royal dainties, man.
Right, bovine meat. That's beef.
And exporting a lot to China. Look at that,
right.
67.
Right, they're top 5 in 34 exports in the world.
Damn. Yes,
they're top 5 in 34 goods.
Right. So that goes to again Genesis 49 where it says that Asher, his bread shall be fat, a lot, it's abundance, and he shall yield forth royal dainties. Now, when you go to the word fat in the Hebrew, the word there is shaman, which it goes into fat, abundance. And then oil. That's the point. Oil. It goes into oil. Go ahead.
Come on now. Woo.
Robust. Right. And go to the plenteous. Now go to greasy. And then go to the root. It should go to oily too. To shine, to be oily.
Yeah, oily.
Okay, then that links again back, jumping back to Deuteronomy 33 about how he shall dip his foot in oil, which the word for oil there, if you look into it, is shaman, which is oil.
But Deuteronomy 33 and 25, thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be. So looking up 24, Salakia, foot in oil.
And the word there is shaman.
Shaman, okay. Shaman.
So dip their feet in oil, so like the oil is just coming out the ground,
right?
As they walk, you know.
Why do you think Esau's in there? And then you got the Russian Edomites and what's it called? American Edomites all up in that region.
Why they keep burning up the rainforest?
Yeah.
Right, because they're trying to dig for those resources down
there,
man.
Oil.
Right.
They know the prophecies, man.
Right.
And you know that those South Americans from Ecuador to Uruguay, that gotta be Asher, bro. Because Asher, all they know is fun and party and
smiling, right?
Happy, always smiling.
Always.
It's like
they went in poverty and smiling.
Yeah.
But that should dip and let him dip his foot in oil.
The word oil.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Shaman. Oil,
Oil.
ointment, olive oil, fat things. If you can't get it,
It's just not for
it
you.
ain't for you,
Same on the
man.
other side.
Because it is the truth, though. That's one thing about it. We have the truth.
Right.
It don't just sound good. It don't just feel good. It don't just get us excited. It is the truth. You know, the Bible is a living book, man. You know, but
If I say the oil, like if the land have a lot of oil, like natural oil, it just show that land is fertile.
Yes, that's true.
So it's gonna have the oil, and it's gonna, you know, the vegetation is gonna be, you know, because the vegetation use that oil too.
It's there for a reason.
Right.
Nothing is just stagnant or just there. No, everything was. The Most High created everything for a reason.
The brother had put in the chat today, right? Oh no, I think that Yashwamba had we posted a clip. They got them big ass snakes out there and shit. They got big ass creatures in the jungle and shit because you know they
rich.
Right, it's rich.
it's rich. They eating. Shit, the earth, the oxygen of the earth is helped out because of the Amazon basin.
Real talk.
You know, the way we able to breathe because how the riches and everything that's coming out of them, man.
Yeah.
You know, but verse 25, thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and we just read one of their top exports is iron ore.
Iron ore.
Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be. They be winning. They be winning in soccer, you know.
MMA.
Right, MMA.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
You know.
Brazilian iron bars, all right.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. Iron. Hebrew word for iron. Barazal. Come on.
Brazil.
Can you make this up?
No.
Can you? What? Look what it say, lawyer. Iron ore. Wow. We just read iron ore.
You know, can I bring out a scripture? I guess 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 28.
Wow.
How do you think Esau feel like when Esau listening to us break this down?
Feeling trouble. He knoweth that he has but a short time.
He heard.
There we go.
So let me break this out. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Yes, sir.
Just to land back where Mark said, hey, this is the truth, man. You know, it's being declared by Yahweh Shem Shai's servants, right? The prophets. We believe we are those prophets, man.
And it's impossible for a man to have written this and come up with this. It's impossible.
Right.
Absolutely impossible.
Right. This gotta be the spirit of the Lord, bro.
Gotta be, bro.
All right. This not like the scoffers like to say, oh, you know, our Yah just came up with a sign. He didn't just come up with this, bro.
Nah.
This is of the inspiration of Yah by Shem Shai.
And we're proving it. You know what? The elders, we get to break down, but digging in like we're doing, we're proving it.
Right.
He had it right.
Mm-hmm. And mind you, he didn't have the internet.
No.
He's going through the library,
Books,
man. Man. Whew.
Wow.
Heavy spirit.
Apparently, Brazil is also a major exporter of brass.
Oh, there we go.
True.
Iron and
Top.
brass.
The top Brazil exports most of its brass to the United States, Mexico, and China.
There we go.
So,
So time.
We
Natalie and Joseph and
Natalie, Joseph, and Benjamin.
Yeah, that's gonna go be another part 3.
I'm thinking that's gonna be another part 3.
Okay.
All right. So, who we got to today? We got the Zebulon, Issachar, Dan, Gad, and Asher. That's what we did today. Previously, it was Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Okay, so we got 3 more. We got 3 more. This is edifying, you know. So, hey, with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
And double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation unto the hopeful elect. Kwame Asharala.
Kwame Asharala.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Shalom.
Shalom.